It's oh taking its time. Yep,
We're on.
we are on.
Okay, welcome witches to the Broken Pentacle Podcast live. This is a space for witches who walk their path beneath southern skies, where the stars tell different stories, and the magic, well, it's got teeth. We're your hosts, Owlvine and Avalon, two witches who've weaved our path beneath southern skies for decades. And today, our dear friends, we are coming to you to cross the threshold of the new year. We're doing it a few weeks early, but we're talking about closing out this year of 2025 magically and then moving powerfully into 2026. This is one of my favorite energies. I love the
Mm,
transition
mm.
of the new year.
Yes,
So I'm so
yes.
excited to talk about this.
And we're doing so early so that you've got time to prepare because there's a lot to do. If this is your first time, your first year completing your first year as a witch, just know that the end of the year is jam-packed full of opportunity to like really crush it,
Mm.
like witchy style. So we just wanted to come on nice and early to give you ample time to prepare and to ensure that all your ducks are in alignment for the threshold crossing. So it's such a sweet time.
It
I hear it's
is.
the year of the snake next year, is it? Is that correct?
Oh, I actually
Is
don't
the
even know.
rubber?
I haven't looked at it, but I love that. The snake. I just got it. Look, I just got a snake ring recently.
Oh,
India.
you didn't
Isn't that?
even know and you're tapped in. You're tapped
I'm
in.
so tapped in. Like,
I like that. I like that. I have just recently shed my old self in line for my new self. So I did my hair. I
Mhm.
got new glasses, and now I'm just stepping into a new sort of like, I feel better about my life.
I love that. I've just started to feel that too, finally. Like this year has been, we'll talk about it, but has been really quite heavy in a lot of ways, trying to move through
Mm,
shit and sift things. It's been very personal development, inner world, and just foggy and all that. But the last few
mm.
days, I've started to feel it shift. And I'm like, yes, here we go. I can't wait.
And a question from the community that comes from me. Did you sleep last night?
Not the best. I
But
am
you have slept this
But
week,
I've
haven't you?
slept. And I'm learning how to manage myself better at night as well. I might even talk at some, on a podcast or something about some of the things I'm doing now. But yeah, I feel like I'm managing it a little bit better, but we're not quite there yet. I'm so excited for next year. I'm like, you guys don't even know. I'm going to be rested. The creativity is going to be flowing. It's going to be so good.
Mm, mm, mm. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So we let me just have a look at the channel. We've got Gemini Sky '06. We've got
Hello.
Holly, Branny. uh, I'm getting used to my new glasses, folks.
Barania,
Thank you.
Barania.
That's the one. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yes, I can see it. Well, I've got really heavy prescription in my glasses at the moment, and there's three stages of lens. So
Wow.
like I'm only like I want to say, wow, I got them on Friday, so it hasn't been long, and it takes 2 weeks for my eyes to adjust. So my eyes are literally like I don't know where to look sometimes, and I can't walk down the stairs anymore. I have to go.
Yeah, it sounds like with three different like planes there, like you've got to really get used to where you're
Oh my
looking, don't you?
gosh. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I've stepped it up. Like I'm proper blind. My sister who doesn't wear glasses puts on my glasses and she's like, fuck. Been wearing them since I was 5, folks.
Well, they look awesome. I love your new frames. They look great.
Well, I thought I'd take a chance. For the last couple of years, like I usually get new glasses every 2 years. And I
Mhm.
will say this from a sort of Venetian magical Aphrodite presentation mode, I put a lot of effort into choosing my glasses. And every year I go, oh, they are so lovely. They're so bold. Oh, but no, my fashion won't match it. My style won't
Mhm.
match it. I've always hesitated. Whereas this year, I had two cracks at choosing glasses. The first time I couldn't find anything that I like, and I'm like, am I self-sabotaging right now? And then the second time I went in there, and I'm like, for the last 2 years, I've wanted straight black frames, but I wear lots of browns and greens and things like that, which
Mhm.
typically conflicts, well, conflict, yeah, creates a little conflict within my wardrobe. But at the same time, my bestie Gordon, he's like, baby girl, we're old now. And so to kind of counterbalance that, you need something striking on your visage. Like you need something
Mhm.
striking on your face. And like the hair's getting done, you may as well do and I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of a sudden I found this kind of like sassy confidence that was tucked away somewhere that is in association with the
Mm.
archetype that wears these black frames. So
Amazing. It was meant to
when it
be.
comes to hair, makeup, glasses, fashion, that's a very Venus Aphrodite experience. So this is a great way to kind of kick off our conversation a little bit here, and that is, are you satisfied with the identity that you have right now? And are you comfortable stepping into the new year with that identity? If not,
Ooh.
you now have ample time to
Mm.
change things up. Who do you want to be in 2026? How do you want people to perceive you? Because at the end of the day, your identity is linked to the very habits that you repeat over and over again. It's a cultivated practice, so to speak. So if you want to be that kind of like witch that gets up and has a full ancestral thing in the morning and like smoke cleanses and cold plunges and does all the things, I'm being exaggerated here, then this is the time to plan that shift
Mm.
and start cementing those habits. Like decide on those habits that you're going to enter the new year with and how
Mm.
you want to present in the year of 2026. Whew,
I
gosh.
love that, which is a great segue to our audience question. So, you
Yeah.
guys, we're wondering, what is your intention or power word for the new year? So, I wanted to have a little chat about word of the year. So, I know probably a lot of you have heard about it, maybe some of you haven't, but the idea is that you have one word. For me, it comes to me in a roundabout kind of spiritual way. So, not every year do I have a word of the year. But if I feel a word coming through to me, which will happen typically in the last month or two to the first month or two of the year. Do you know what I mean? At some point there is when it will kind of come through. Anyway, last year, my word of the year was harmony. Or this year, rather, my word of the year was harmony, which was so interesting. So I was going back and having a little reflect. I've started my New Year reflections now. We'll talk more about that soon, but I like to go through and kind of see the intentions that I set at the start of the year and all of that. So harmony. And I really thought about it. And when I began the year, I wouldn't say where I'm at now is where I would have liked to have been. I think I imagined a little bit more harmony, let's say. But if I'm honest, my God, the journey that I've been on and where I am from where I was is night and day. Like I really do have
Wow.
such a greater sense of harmony. And for me, the themes or the real areas of my life that I've been focusing on and seeing a lot of change in are my physical health and also personal development. So my inner landscape, very much my mental landscape, which of course deeply affects the physical as well. So that's where I've really been focusing, and I can see that harmony has come in so much more deeply. And I like that word instead of balance. To me, balance feels a little bit more exact, whereas harmony is more of a flowing, moving thing. So I've brought in more surrender, alignment into my life this year. And I definitely have a greater sense of harmony and peace, which has been absolutely incredible. So I'm wondering, Avalon, did you have a word for this year? And anyone in chat, if they would like to share as well.
Mm. Yes, I do actually. I do. This one has been coming through in a roundabout way, and it's come through all of my triggers, if I'm being entirely honest. So I have been on a little rant. My intellect has snagged on a couple of things that are just like essentially like pissing me off. And I decided that it actually comes down to me embodying the very change that I want to see around me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've decided to, as bland and as boring as this word is, I am striving towards more like authenticity. I want to get to that, to that true, genuine core of the very practices that I'm engaged in. Like, I've had issues with like performative witchcraft, performative tarot, the elevation of aesthetics over actual practice, the hyper commercialism of tarot and witchcraft and things of that nature. Like, these are the, areas in which I sort of spend my time, like on social media. And so I've just noticed that there's a true lack of substance. And
Mm.
it's all become a more of a performance rich experience. And I'm not dissing anyone as a result of that, because like actors get paid big money to pretend. So why shouldn't you get your bag as well? Like, I get it. I'm not having a go at that specifically, but what I'm having a bit of an issue with is the byproduct of that, because these people, these accounts, these creators are creating content in the type of capacity that lends to teaching.
Mm.
Okay, so they're showing a spell, or they're showing, or they're talking about the meaning of a tarot card, etc. And as a result of that, they're misinforming, like they're missing the mark. They're failing to go deep. They're just not scooping up all that wisdom, all of that knowledge, all of that esoterica, and throwing it at people so that they can really like get hit with this like pixie dust of fucking arcane awesomeness. And so, as a result of that, it's no point in me like feeling bitter about it, because I'm a Taurus and I have a Scorpio rising. So basically, I can just get really like ingrained in this like for fuck's sake vibe. And I don't want to enter the year in this for fuck's sake vibe.
Mm.
So rather than focus on what it is that I feel is a huge failure in our current community right now, I thought I would step into a much more positive, much more proactive space, really delve into authenticity within my own practice and within that which I choose to share on the internet, as well as a digital content creator as well. I'm also writing a book, and the theme of that book is Spirit Witch, and it's very much about divorcing yourself from the capitalist side of witchcraft and really delving into the spirit of things. And the spirit of things is the authenticity in everything that we do. So this is my year of authenticity. This is my
I
vibe.
love that. That's amazing. I saw something just before I want to share with you. So you guys, if you're interested, we've got so many projects going right now. So Spread This Witches. If you want to head to Avalon's channel, we just did an episode on Spread This Witches where we talked about this topic. And I just
Mhm.
wanted to tell you, so I'm not big on social media right now. Like, I'm not really on the socials, right? So Avalon's been talking about this style of shuffling that's happening now. And I'm like, yeah, okay, and I didn't think, whatever, right? And you've shown it to me, but without cards. Anyway, there is someone I follow on YouTube who's like vaguely witchy. And the other day she's like, oh, she does vlogs and stuff. She's like, oh, I'm going to do a tarot reading for you guys. And then she did the shuffle. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize like quite that it was that violence, this new way of like shuffling that people do on screen, and the cards are flying everywhere. And because I have like a style of reading where I do that, like where I shuffle the cards, and when a card kind of sits out, that's my card, right? So a lot of people will shuffle and then pull from the front of the deck. I don't do that, but it's not like anyway. So I saw it and I screamed. So there you go. Craziness. But let's get into some of the end of year rituals that we do. So how about you open us up? What are some of the things you do to close down your magic for a year to prepare for the next?
Okay, so I typically do like a backyard burn up. Like, this is very Australian, and everywhere I've lived, believe it or not, I've managed to have a contained fire and just set shit on fire. And I find it cathartic, and I
Oh.
find it very cleansing.
Mm.
The word that is floating around the socials at the moment is transmutation. I find fire to be a catalyst for alchemy and transmutation, if you are into that.
I'm
I
very
already
into
feel yucky for saying the words out loud.
that.
But I get outside and I start to layer. Like, this is a bit of a layering practice. This is a two-prong approach, because I work a lot of magic. I do. And so I have spells everywhere, like everywhere throughout my house. Like I've got charm bags over here and shaker jars over there, and I just have so much magic, okay? And sometimes, like the charcoal disc that I forgot that I lit, I forgot that I had the shaker jar, or I forgot that I had the charm, or all of these types of things. So then I have to make this decision going, okay, well, I totally forgot about you. It's dead magic. I could revive it and I could feed it. But obviously, if I haven't, that's an indicator of the fact that I can't. Like I've already got my plate very full. And so I have ADHD and I get very excited about things. So I create magic for stuff all the time and then I forget that I've created that magic. But the backyard burn up is kind of like a surrender. Like, all right, I surrender, I surrender. So I burn my petitions, I throw in my spell remnants, I, gather up all the dusty, worn crap, I throw in charm bags, I'll empty out the contents of shaker jars straight into the fire, but I'll retain the jar because I like to recycle. I just like to purge. It's like a great purging. And then once you have purged, this is my favorite part. Like you got to get a bit feral about it if I'm being entirely truthful, like monkeys around a fire kind of feral. And just like really bring the passion and bring the enthusiasm because that's kind of that motion and that intensity around fire is a reward to fire. Fire is a very active, feral, vibrant, passionate, creative thing. So you must sort of like vibe with it. And so once all of that has happened, then I bring out the big smoke cleansers. So my goal is to create like a massive smoke bundle, like as fat as that kind of
yeah.
vibe.
Like that meme where the two people are carrying the
That's my aim because then I can just throw it on the fire and it will do its thing. But this year I haven't got myself sorted and I do want to use natives for it as well, like eucalypts and things like that. And I don't want to have to purchase anything. I want to wild forage it and I want to have it in that capacity. So I'll just take out my little cauldron. I'll pop a couple of charcoal discs in there, and then I'll have a really good cleansing mix to smoke cleanse. And sort of like that kind of seals it. So you've got the two masculine elements, fire, which is the other element. In case you didn't know, this is a short course in witchcraft right now. Earth, air, and water are constantly with us on our earthly plane at all times. Fire must be called into being. And so it is considered the other element. In many esoteric practices, fire is actively acknowledged as the other element. So we treat that other element with respect. It is masculine by nature. So too is air. So you mix the two masculine energies and they create this nice kind of solidifying feature. So you've cleansed yourself. And then my absolute favorite part, I get as drunk on beer as I possibly can and start to write all the beautiful things that I want for myself on pieces of paper, anoint it and throw it in the fire. Like this goes on for hours and hours, like hours and hours. So that's my backyard burnout.
Oh, I love that.
Mm.
That is awesome. So lots of like deeply cleansing energy there.
Yeah, I want to release it. I want to release it because I don't want to enter the new year with like, oh, I forgot about that spell. Oh, I forgot about that spell. Like, I won't rant, but I will say something here. It's important to understand when a spell is successful and when it's not. It's important to understand when a spell has run its course and when it has not. Not all spells are meant to be continuous. Some spells are meant to be short term for short term gain or short term adjustment. And it's really important to dispose of these spells accordingly. So, if you find yourself at the end of the year and you've been a bit derelict in your duty of disposing of your spells, it's perfectly fine to throw it into the fire. Fire releases the spirit and it returns back to source as well. And so there is no harm, no foul. And obviously, here in Australia, we must be very, very careful about fires during this time of the year because it's bushfire season for us down here. But if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're watching this, then it's Yule, it's cold. You might already have a fire inside your home that you can put to good work here. So work with your surroundings and just be vigilant. Like, don't be frightened. to throw out your money bowl, or don't be frightened to get rid of that big beautiful spell that you created, but you're not feeling it, like you're not feeling the energy of it, or you've forgotten about it or something like that. So
Mm,
it's just a good time to kind of go through your home and go, okay, it's time to clear the energy. Like even the magical energy needs to be cleared from time to time. So
absolutely.
it's a good opportunity to like submit everything and f let fire take it away. Let fire do its thing, and you'll feel it's almost like it opens up space in your
I
mind.
was going to say
It's a
that the
beautiful
reason it's
thing.
important is because you don't realize it, but there's little energy hooks on you. And like
Hmm.
even just a purely mundane mental, you look at that thing and go, "Oh, I need to do that thing." Like it's an undone something that needs to be attended to, and that's taking up space. So
Oh,
getting rid of all of that, it just gives you that clearness and all that energy to actually put towards something that you want rather than dragging shit behind you that you don't need anymore, right?
holy shit, you're right. I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read. Okay. Forgive me for the tone of this, but I wrote a Facebook post last night about this very thing, and you're gonna see what I mean. It goes as such. I'm going to read it. Ah, yes, just thinking. A delightful little pastime like knitting or cloud watching, except, of course, that your cerebral cortex is conducting a full scale biochemical siege on your body's resources, commandeering 1/5 of your entire metabolic budget for the audacity of having a complex thought, for fuck's sake. It's not daydreaming, it's glucose extraction, ion gradient maintenance, and synaptic artillery fire, all performed by an organ that weighs as much as a bag of grapes. But please do not do go on about stress isn't real work. I'm sure your prefrontal cortex currently burning through your lunch to solve a problem you didn't create finds that absolutely hilarious. So the next
Mhm.
time your brain power is taken for granted, you might gently note that mental labor has a literal receipt. It's called your blood sugar. Pay up. So
Oh my
that was
God,
yesterday.
yes. I feel like that's been like part of the theme of my year has been learning to just de-stress, decompress.
Mhm.
I didn't realize I was killing myself. And I think a lot of people don't. Like stress is killing a huge portion of the population very, very slowly, very
Mhm.
painfully, right?
This burnout, the
Burn
burnout concept,
all of
yeah,
it.
it's real. It's absolutely
Mhm.
real. By the way, I'm just going to put a little shout out to a beautiful friend of mine who's going through a major issue with burnout as an exceptional creator. Her name is Ethany Dawn. She's the author of many books, many tarot decks. She has just put up a video on her YouTube channel saying, I quit. And she's going into the deep, dark trenches of what it's like being a solo creator, doing absolutely everything yourself, having to meet expectations,
Mhm.
putting like having that pressure on you, being the primary earner. She's a single mother and she's working on her own and she's working it, she's doing the job and she is feeling absolutely at the bottom. So she did ask very kindly that if people could go over to her channel and just watch the ads because right now it's the situation of like ad revenue might be small, but it helps to put a little bit of money into her pocket. So at the very end of the day, like there's something that you can do for someone. She's not asking for a lot and she's going through a big, deep struggle. So a big shout out. And the
Mhm.
reason why I'm talking about it is because she is an Australian witch living in Canada. Her family at the moment is going through crisis. Her mother has a terminal illness. She is
Mhm.
completely isolated from her family, and it's all just, it's the mountain of
Yeah.
shit that sometimes life throws at us. So if there's anything that you can do, go over to Ethany's channel, give her some love, tell her we sent you, and just give her some love, some words of affirmation, even like things like that actually make a difference when people are kind to you. It sort of helps to fill your cup a little bit. It
Yeah.
helps to you to be seen. Anyways, all that aside, it's time.
So we've been talking a bit about cleansing, and for me, this is the most important part of ending a year, right? Is clearing out the old. And we talked about the magical kind of cleansing there, closing down those spells, getting rid of anything that isn't being actively worked right now. that you don't need anymore. And then the physical clean, right? As above, so below. Like if you find that you're having difficulty shifting energy, go clean out a drawer, like physically clean something. It's insane how that works.
Mm.
So floor washes, I love to do a big floor wash at this. I mean, I do it all the time, but I love to do an extra special one at this time of year. Smoke cleansing, right? Smoke cleansing all through the house. And I've got to get onto my smoke cleansing. This is just a reminder for me in the next week, because then my husband is home and he's one of those mundane people that's like, oh, sage, you know, so I got to like smoke it up before he gets in for a few weeks. Oh, and then I wrote, but yeah, and sound cleansing as well is another thing that I really love to do. So I've got a healing bowl or a singing bowl, and I'll go around the house and bring in.
Mm.
I love to do this. We're going to chat about this soon. I love to do this if I can over that New Year crossing. So if I'm home, I love to do it at that point.
Mm.
And
I
then the
like that.
other thing that I do, so I love to do a big reading at the start of the year for myself, a year ahead reading, if you will. And the
Mm.
way that I've done this has changed over the years. Like I've tried out different methods. I've used just Oracle. I've pulled multiple cards. I've pulled for each month. This year, excuse me, what I did was I based it more on astrology. So I pulled for 12 different areas of my life and then a couple of other oracle cards as well. And I just started going through that. So I leave it out. I can even show you. Got it. Right here, this is my reading for, oh, everything's going to fall, but this is my reading, my cards for the year. One of the good things about having so many tarot decks is I can leave the reading out, right? Which I love, and reflect through the year. Anyway, I've started going through it more deeply though. And it's really interesting to see where I'm at and how each area has progressed and what's changed in that area. But I found this to be the best way to do my year ahead reading. So I don't know about you, but in the past, I've pulled for each month. And for some reason, I just didn't find that super connective. Like I would get to 6 months in, and I'm like, it wasn't working for me. But this way was awesome. So anyway, I've started doing that reflection. I'm about halfway through now. And I think that's what actually got me starting the feeling the vibes of the new year. So I'm going to be redoing my altar very soon. So I've got different altars that I use for different things. I always point over here. This is my main altar, which is like my church. That's how I feel about this one. This is like my inner space, you know? So that's going to be redone soon. And then the reading will go on there. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to read for the new year. What about
I
you?
like that.
Do you have well, I don't know if this is a good spot for that, but anyway, I'll pass it to you.
Well, I will also do my year ahead reading, but it happens a little bit later on because I'm a professional tarot reader. Right now, I have like 17 new year ahead readings to do
Mhm.
as I'm speaking to you right now. And I love it. I actually these are my favorite readings to do personally because I label them my magical new year ahead reading. And so for every month I give a magical suggestion, a practice, a focus, an intention for the entire year. But when I do this for myself, I break the fucking bank. I bring in deck after deck. I like flesh it out because I'm not going to sit with a negative card. I want to know how to change the negativity of a card through practice and applied kind of actions. And so I don't do my professional readings like that because we'd be out 70 cards. You know, like but for me, because I like to be in control of everything, I like to do a big fat reading. I can't even do this reading on a table. I have to do it on the floor. So it's so big, I need to be able to spread it out. I'm not talking about ridiculously big. Like I start off with my 12 cards. I start off with my metaphysical maintenance for the year, like what's really going to top up my cup. Then I go to the overarching energy, my major arcana card. And then I start to lay out the cards for the month. And then on top of those cards, I lay out what is necessary. How can I expand that a little bit more? How can I expand this a little bit more? And that's not for every single card. That's just for the stickier cards or the cards that I'm just like, I'm curious how I can make the most of this. So for instance, if I got an ace, I'd be like, I love the ace. It's potential, quintessence. Ooh, I like it. But what direction should I go in? Because it can be a little bit ambiguous. And so I like to lay cards on top of aces, and I like to lay cards on challenge cards. So all the fives get an extra card on top of that. And if it's like one of the big three, I'll lay extra cards on top of that, sometimes more than one. And I just make it nice and big for myself. And I feel that that is like, it's the equivalent, it's the magical equivalent of like getting fully dressed up in a suit, doing a full beat, getting your hair done. Like it is that kind of energy when
Mm.
you do a reading like this at the end of the year, because you're without even realizing it or not, whether it's in your archetype or not, you're being very boss about it because you're handling it, you're taking control of it, you're aware of it, you're putting your energy into understanding and knowing, and you're being a weaver in that moment. And so, yes, I highly recommend New Year readings. I highly, highly, highly recommend New Year readings.
Mm.
There's true benefit to it. But I just
Absolutely.
wanted to go back and because you talked a little bit about magical housework and some of the practices that you do. So I've got some notes here that I'll read out in accordance with that housework. So um, when it comes to my magical housework, here is the list. It's not flowery or anything like that, but dust with a damp cloth and some orange essential oil or lemon oil, essential oil. I like to really just get in there, and orange is great for like happiness and joy, and it's also very prosperous as well, but it kind of has this like uplifting ray of sunshine energy to it. Lemon, the same. It's citrus, it's tart, it cuts through the nonsense and it creates a vibrancy around it. I mop with hyssop, agrimony, rue, and a tablespoon or two of Florida water. And I will take, before I dunk my mop in, I'll take a little bit of a mix out, put it in a cup, and I'll use that same mix to wipe down my windows and my windowsills as well. So everything gets a little bit of a zhuzhy zhuzh. Um, I fold the laundry and I give them a light spray with a little orange blossom hydrosol or a little Florida water or whatever works for you. I really like that practice to fold everything and tuck everything away, because I don't know about you, but I have laundry to put away. Like it's getting
Always.
out of control. Um, I like orange blossom hydrosol. I just think it's
I
got a really good
love,
energy.
oh,
I
yeah.
change the sheets at the very end of the year, so like I like to sleep in clean sheets for the turn of the new year,
Hmm.
and then I spray my sheets with lavender essential oils. I wash my towels and my beddings, and I put fresh dried or basil oil into my washing, because that calms and soothes quarrels within the house. It brings love, it brings harmony, it brings cleansing and clearing in a way, and it's great in the wash. I've done this for years, for literal years. I have this distinct memory of throwing basil into the bath water in my 20s with my boyfriend at the time. So like this is a long-standing practice. And then I clean the bathrooms with baking soda, vinegar, and lemon juice. I clean out the pantries and I donate anything that's been sitting there for a little bit too long that I'm not intending on using, because pantries can get very cluttered and we don't need everything in the pantry. And so it's good to create that charitable kind of circulation in your life as well. And so once I have everything sort of like organized and feeling clean and feeling fresh, and I get a bit like crazy about this. Like I have a little bit of like at home OCD. My house you might walk in and you might think, "Oh, this is a bit messy," but you could eat off the floor. Like I have been known to sit on the ground with my tiles and like scrub with like steel wool to just and like be really like fucking autistic about it. But
Super
I get
clean.
really into
Yeah.
it. And I like to make this an experience for myself, because housework can be such a fucking oh.
Mm.
So I put on the best music, and I make sure that I have this like kind of happy energy. I open up all the windows. I like to, not that I have very many, but I open them all up, open up the doors, get the sliding screen so the flies don't come in, and then I just start to work my space in such a beautiful way. And I like to sing and I like to dance, because believe it or not, these are practices of magic that help
Mhm.
to uplift and help to like spread some joy and some cheer and some high energy vibration. And so I'm
Mm.
all for it. Like magical housework is totally different to the, TikTok cleaners that you see. And you can get your tips and your products from there, but I like to do things a little bit more magically and infuse that energy into my home because essentially my entire home is my altar.
Mhm.
So I work as much magic on my kitchen bench as I do on my kitchen table, as I do on my outside altar, as I do on my inside altar. Basically, I live in a tiny home, so wherever I have space, everything has to be charged, everything has to be activated. And so it's a good idea to get started now because it is a chore.
A lot of work. A lot of work, that's for sure. And what about you had one last thing to share for the old year, let's say, and then we'll talk about that crossing over of the new year. But the uncrossing bath.
Oh, yes. I will also add, before I talk about uncrossing baths, is to refresh your money bowls.
Mm.
So give your money bowl and your money workings a good once over, replace any items that have lost their magical shine. And when I say magical shine, I'm like that vibration. In
Mm.
my culture, we call it a share. So it's like the chi, the vibe, right?
Hmm.
And so remove anything dull and dusty and wash it if possible. Allow these washed items to dry completely before putting them back in there and just wipe down the bowl itself, anoint it with some Florida water, like any money workings, and put some love into it because money kind of flows on the same wavelength as love.
Yes.
You have to be in love with your money. You have to nurture your money. You have to be loving towards your money. And so that there. Owlvine already talked about smoke cleansing or sound cleansing the home. I have a little recipe. So the mix is for a good house cleanse. Frankincense resin on coal. You can also add myrrh, benzoin, and copal for a really heady, smoking, cleansing experience. Like this will bellow out. These are resins. So
Hmm.
these are
Very
going to put
smoky.
out a lot of smoke. Like, so if you've got smoke detectors, be aware that this might not be the best item for you. But
I
if you
always
don't,
take mine down, by the way. I take down my smoke detectors, put all smoke through the house, and then I put them up later so they don't go off.
you can also grab a rubber glove and put it over your smoke detector, if that's going to bother you. But just be careful and remember that you've done it, and remember that these things are in play. If you can't use smoke, then you can use sound. So your best friend is actually clapping. It's the oldest form of energy clearing, chanting, ringing bells, using drums, meditation bowls like crystal or Tibetan, and then music that is of particularly high vibration alongside the work that you're doing. So these are just like some magical practices that you can like really get into. Like, believe me when I tell you, like this sounds like we're just talking to you right now, but if you start to do these practices, you are going to feel it. Like
Yes.
you are going to feel the energy. And that's the big thing. The more magic you do, the more sensitive to magic you become, and the more
Mm.
magic you feel. So I feel 1,000 times better when I'm sitting at my kitchen table and my magic is going ballistic on the kitchen table. I work around it. The kids and I eat around my magic on the kitchen table, and it's really weird when there's nothing in the center of the table. That's where my money bowl lives, in the center of my kitchen table, and so it's a beautiful thing.
Mm.
Anyways, but we're at banishing and uncrossing baths. So at the very, very like when you're getting ready for the new year, this is a great time to do this type of bath, okay? If you go out, if you go out for New Year, I would repeat this on the first. Okay? So if you're out and about, if you're in the mix of people, make sure to like have some protection oil on and just protect your kind of the sanctity of your energy and your vibe. But if you don't have what you need for that, then by all means, just do the bath again. So the recipe that I'm going to give you is agrimony, hyssop, rue, camphor, frankincense, and eucalyptus.
Mm.
Or you can fully reset with salt. Now, a salt bath needs to be done in a very particular way. We're talking a handful of salt in a large pot of water, This is not something you would soak in. This has to be done in the shower. You wash your whole body. You wash your hair and everything. You are not going to pour the salt water over your head. You never pour the salt water over your head. You pour it from the neck down. Once you have poured that salt on your body, you have to air dry. You have to drip dry. And that is around the time that you'll pitter patter through the house and you'll get yourself a glass of water. Please have these ready before you start. You need a glass of water and a white candle. The water is the conduit to the divine. It's the phone. It's the magical phone call. It's going to lubricate your wishes. And the white candle is for your gods, guides, guardians. Ask them to cleanse and clear your path and reset you for the new year. This is beautiful work that you can do. I like to do a salt bath once a month, but I'm a bit extra about everything. So
I love that. So a witch, one of my magical mentors, if you will, several years ago, she gave me a little piece of magic that her grandmother gave her. And it's just the idea of meeting the new year, or rather going into the new year the way you want the year to continue. I don't know a good way to say this, but anyway, the point is what her and her family do is even if they're not going out anywhere, at about 10 p.m. at night, they get ready. They get dolled up. They put a face on, they do their hair, they get dressed, right? Because it's like meeting the new year in this like ready form. And ever since she told me that, it's something that I've done. If I haven't been going out, most of the time I do, but that's been really powerful. So even if you're a witch that's spending, New Year's at home, that's something you might want to consider. And listen, that doesn't mean you have to doll up, right? Like it's how you want to meet the new year. So that's up to you. But something we'll talk about, welcoming in the new year now. Something that I really love to do if I'm at home. So most years I'm still out. I've got my husband, my son. They like to be very social. There's been 2 years over the last couple of years that I've stayed home and it's been my favorite. So I always will be working magic over that time, right? And that energy, oh my God, there's nothing like it. So if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend be at your altar, be with your magic at that time. I really love to blend an incense over this time. So like literally over that threshold period. I remember the first year I did it, it was the end of 2020, right? The vibe that year, because everyone knows, like 2020 was like, what the fuck what movie just started playing in our life? Like, this is nuts, right? So and I live in the middle of suburbia and right near the beach. So there are fireworks going off at the time. I can hear all the crowds of people. And that year, like everyone was like the energy was just off the chain. So that's what I like to collect. That's what I'm going for when I'm doing magic over that period. It's like that vibe when I can hear the community, I like pour that into my working. So that might be something that interests people. What are some of the ways that you welcome in the new year magically? Oh, actually, no, let's do that. We did have a question about goals for the year, but let's do that afterwards. Let's talk about the magic.
All right. So this is a Brazilian custom, okay? Firstly, it is customary to wear white on New Year's. In fact, it is customary to walk along any beach and see all these voodooists doing their thing, right? In white. Like it's customary to wear white. I come from a voodooist background, so I wear white when I can. If I can't, because I'm going out and I don't want stupid people to spill their shit on me, I make sure to color coordinate my underwear. Now, this is where color magic comes into play. Fresh new undies for the night before and the night after. This is a permission to go and visit Victoria's Secret. Actually, I don't care about Victoria's Secret. I'll go to Bonds, but I will then make sure to ensure that the color of underwear that I am seeing in the new year is of a vibration that I want to cultivate. So if you want love, you would wear red, or passion, red and pink. If you want success and money, you would wear some version of gold or green. Yellow is very much Oshun energy, and she's a little sexy. She's a little lovey. So yellow can sometimes be used in my culture for the cultivation of love. Yellow looks terrible against my skin though, so that won't be happening.
Yellow's not my color.
Yeah. But yeah, be mindful of the colors that you're wearing as you enter into the new year. I also like to braid some intention into my very long hair. And so this is a little bit of like not magic. And I'll anoint it with magical condition oils. So I'll plait it. And as I'm plaiting it, I'm saying my little intention over and 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 over again. And then I secure it. And it just sort of like stays in the hair for a little bit of time, anointed. And yeah, I really like making sure that my head is washed. Like I'm big on head magic because I wrap my head because I'm a voodooist at the core of my practice. I make sure that my hair is clean. My head, my scalp has been scrubbed, like with a nice little scalp scrub or something like that. And the hair is clean. I make sure that I do my everything shower. Because, like Owlvine was saying, you meet the year where you want to be. Like, my goal in life is to wake up ready. Okay. I want to just wake up fully dressed, a full bead of makeup on, hair done. Like, I just don't want to do that. I want that to happen to me. I don't want to do that.
That'd be
And
nice.
so I need to sort of like negotiate with myself and make sure that I am entering the year like sugar scrubs in the shower are magic in and of themselves. Like you're sweetening yourself. I'm a big vanilla girl, so I layer body oils and body powders and vanilla, fragrances and oils all over my body. I smell like a dessert wherever I go. Like that's my so when I'm hugging people, which is my my main goal is to give people a good hug, they're just like, "Oh my God, you smell so nice." I'm like, mate, that's the vibe. But I spend extra time. Like I'll shave if I want to shave or I need to shave. And I'll just make sure that I'm getting ready for a date. Like I enter the experience like I'm gonna meet a sexy, sexy, sexy man. Like I'm going on a date. I'm going to go on a date with a daddy, like that kind of energy. And then I put in that extra because all girls understand this is when you are, and gays as well, when you are about to go on a date with someone hot, you go the extra mile. Well, I want that same energy for my new year. I want to meet it with like this passion and romance and fire and vivaciousness and just enter in it, feel my best, look the best, wake up the next day and I feel amazing because I've done all that work on myself. I gave myself that everything shower. I wake up in clean sheets. Like it's a beautiful way of kind of welcoming in the new year, and I think it's a huge, huge, huge thing. So, yeah, should we talk about spells for the
Yeah,
new year?
absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Do you want to take it off?
Okay. So something I do at the start of every year is the witchy magical maintenance, metaphysical maintenance. So resetting wards, resetting protections. If there are charms and things like, because I have multiple layers, I think most witches do, of protection. So clearing out those old and just resetting everything, refreshing everything. I mean, you mentioned that with the prosperity as well. So I actually really like the idea of doing it just before that crossover. So I haven't done that. Normally, what I do is after the crossover, reset all of that, do the prosperity working. I think I will do that this year as well. We've got some really exciting energy opening up our year, you guys. So we'll talk about that soon. But that's what I like to, I just reset everything basically and do the tarot reading, of course. So again, it depends on my schedule as to when I do that, but it's right around that time. And oh, what was the other thing I was just going to say? Oh, intentions, right? Of course. So this period of time, this crossing over these few weeks where we're moving through is when personally I start to get really clear on my goals for the coming year, what my intentions are, that word of the year, if there is one, and just that focus, right? Bringing in that new sense of alignment, and really being clear about where I'm heading that year. And you had a really lovely, I know you've got two things that you wanted to share, but I really loved your petition idea and the way you do this. So if you could share that with everyone, this is an amazing piece of magic.
Okay, all right, let's get into it. So, I like to prep my New Year candle. If you have access, I'm going to be bitter when I say this. If you have access to a 7-day candle, then lucky you.
Lucky
Use
you.
it. If not, use a candle that is big enough to burn for days. 3 days should suffice. Um, Here's a hot tip. Not that I like to promote cheap and commercial, but what we have no other options down here.
Yeah.
But the reject shop does a pillar candle that will burn for 3.5 days. So that will suffice. I've got one going right now. And you want to sort of like fix your candle, like the concept of fixing your candle, spelling your candle. So you want to anoint your candle with the right kind of oils, a good blessing oil, a good road opener. Like these are like good oils to sort of work with. Oh shit. I have a good money oil, a good lucky hand. Like I don't love to work with luck specifically at that time of year, but one, and this is a shout out to the Wild Cauldron, who is an Aussie creator, the Gilded Triumph oil. I've got fuck all of this left, but like the Gilded Triumph oil is probably the best oil to do because it's just good all round. Like it's just good. So a little drop of like road opener, a little drop of Gilded Triumph or Rose Gold Desire, also by the Wild Cauldron. I have gone through bottles. I have had the makeup equivalent of hitting pan on these things, okay? And so love it. And I would I would inscribe my intentions for the year upon the candle. Okay. Now, just remember, and this is a safety tip for anyone who's beginning their witches practice, the more herbs and oils you add to a candle, the more flammable that candle will become. Okay. So keep that in mind when you're adding herbs directly to a candle. I can't tell you how many small fires I've set. I can't tell you how many candle holders I've burnt, how many pieces of property I have damaged as a result of this. So please understand that I'm saying this out of, protection for you and your loved ones and your beautiful possessions, okay? So be mindful of that. Have good candle holders, heat-proof dishes. Like there's a reason why witches work with Pyrex, sort of like trays and things like that, because they can withstand an enormous amount of heat and they will not crack. So these are good kind of things to sort of like put to good use. So yes, you will pimp your candle. You will light it just as the year turns. And as you're preparing your candle, like pray over it, speak over it, chant over it, say the words, intone and express, okay? And then have it sitting there. As that year changes over, you are going to light that candle and you are going to speak to that candle all that you wish for blessings for the new year. If that's it, I find that the concept of blessings for the new year is just the simplest and the best way to go about it, because you want to experience those good moments. You want to experience those blessings. So good protections and good blessings for the new year. It's all in there and all locked down. So that is fantastic. And then just let it burn until it runs its course. If it's 7 days, then if you've got a 7-day candle, then
We're so jealous of you.
if you have a 9-day candle.
Oh my God. I actually do. Someone sent me one and I'm like, it's precious. I haven't used it. I'm not sure. Listen, I've got to use these candles, but I'm like holding on to them because when am I ever going to even see this again?
Oh, I know, I know. I've got
Out
such
there.
beautiful candles that I want to use that my coven sister Mindy sent to me. Like I've got big money shaped like dollar signs, green, and a crown for a crown of success. Like, these beautiful candles, plus jar candles. And I'm like, okay, so New Year would be the time. New Year, your birthday would be the times to do these types of to work with these kinds of magics. Like, so bring out your good candles.
Yeah.
Bring out your good candles and have some fun with it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Maybe this is the year.
But I also have another little suggestion for you, and this requires work and discipline and due diligence. So if you're not in alignment with those things, then don't do this because it will fail. But now that I have warned you off, we are going to be doing a petition. So this is a bit of fun. So it's good to gather with the girls to do this one because it's witchy, but you as the witch can make it witchier. Like for them, it feels like woo woo and new age and a little bit like, so you can mix and mingle with your friends for this one. And it's almost better that you do. Okay. So having the energy of other people around you when you do this, if you can't, go do this at a cafe,
Mm.
somewhere busy. So near an ocean, near a river, somewhere with like energy, like good energy around you, right? So the idea here is you're going to write a petition for the entire year of 2026, almost like a mission statement, what you aim to achieve, what you want to achieve, your goals for the new year's, and these need to be very well thought out. It's not like I am going to win $1 million this year. That's not a goal. That is not a goal, folks, okay? A goal is I am going to learn a new language. I am going to take up a course of study. I am going to launch my business. I'm going to shoot my shot with this guy. I'm going to, like, these are actionable things that you can do. They're not things that you are separated from. They're actionable things that you can achieve. So the idea here is to create a stepping stone. So let's say, for instance, you want to travel to Japan. So it's best for you to, in order to travel to Japan, learn a little bit of Japanese, save up the money, book your ticket, book your like there's steps to this experience, and then go over there and have a great time. That might be your goal for the new year. So just make sure that you set aside, some realistic, solidly achievable goals, like that feel a little challenging to you. Learning a new language, for instance, is a huge challenge to a lot of people, unless you have a natural kind of knack for languages. But set it all out, mission statement, be very clear, be very concise, use solid wording. Like make these as though they are promises to yourself. I promise to do this. I promise to do that. And reward yourself by actually being in alignment with these statements.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to use the word promise, but that's essentially what you're doing. And then fold it up. You can bind it with a little gold cord, or you can, do a little knot magic, 1, 2, 3 times the charm, whatever. You don't have to, but you can. I find it easier. Now, you can do two things with this. You can, one, turn it into a charm, which means folding the paper small enough that it fits into a little charm bag, add a crystal, a few herbs, and then bind it up and consistently work with it throughout the entire year of 2026. This requires you to not be forgetful about it, okay? You need to anoint this on a particular day. So let's say, for instance, your charm was for travel, that you wanted to travel the world this year, just for instance, then I would typically work with Thursday as your feeding day, because Jupiter is about expansion. It has wanderlust energy attached to it. So Jupiterian energy would be the best way. So you can tap into the Jupiter energy and anoint it with a good Jupiter oil that, by the way, you as a little witch made yourself. Or you can be really old-fashioned about it and anoint it with alcohol, like whiskey or vodka if you're Russian.
I use vodka in mine. I've got Slavic background, so
Yeah.
vodka is used quite a bit in my practice.
Yeah, of course. We use cachaça in my country. So cachaça is always a really good thing to anoint. And so you would anoint it every week on that day. Every week on that day. Set alarms and reminders. It doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter who you're with or what you're doing. You anoint it. Like this is continuous magic that you're working. Otherwise, if you can't commit to carrying this on your persons and working with it that intensely, then what you can do is still create that petition packet, and put it on your ancestral altar or on your working altar if you don't have an ancestral altar. But you also need to anoint it every week. Either way you go about it, you're going to be committing to a weekly practice here. You will anoint it every single week. Same vibe, same energy. Only one you'll take with you as a charm. You'll pop it in your bra if you're a woman and you wear a bra, or your pocket, or your purse. You'll slip it into your pillow at night. Like you'll build a rapport of it. It becomes a little fetish, if you will. And a witch's fetish, not a kinky fetish, okay?
Two different things.
Two different things, exactly. And so this is the practice. And the more energy you put into it, the more connected you are to this experience, the more honest and authentic you are about this experience, the more you are connected to that magic. That magic becomes a
Mm.
living, breathing entity in and of itself. And at the end of the year, you can sit down by your burn off fire, like I like to do, and I open it up and I go, okay, this is the vibe, this is the magic. And what have I achieved? Did my mission statement, did my petition run its course? Did it come to pass? If it didn't, then I do something a little different. I adjust it a little bit. Like maybe it's I put too many goals on my list or not enough goals on my list, or maybe my goals were a little bit misaligned with where I was. And it's a great time to kind of self-counsel yourself. But if you've ticked off like 60 to 70% of what was on your list, then that's a successful petition. You submit it to the fire, and then
Mhm.
you can do the same thing for the following year. It's the energy, the same energy as a vision board, only you are working it consistently and taking it with you.
Mm. All right, now we have a really quick question. Let's talk about goals in a second, our personal goals for the new year. But there was just one other question from Michelle. She said, as New Year's Eve is a liminal time, any recommendations for working with spirits or crossing the door spells? So I'll chuck this to you in a sec, but something I did actually write down that I forgot to mention. I really like to do prosperity working with my ancestors over that crossing, right? So again, if I'm home, if I can do that, otherwise I'll do it day before, day after. But I love burning. I was going to get it to show you, but ancestor money or hell notes or joss paper, it's also called. This is typically, it usually has some kind of Chinese design on it. Not always, but sometimes. And it's just paper, right? And it's actually made for burning for the ancestors. So I will write things on this. I will write things to my family, for myself, whatever it might be. And I'll sit there with my ancestors and burn those and have that ritual space with them. So that's something I do. Anything you'd like to
That's
add?
Yes, I this is a bit extra, but I make sure to clean and anoint all my shoes and all my kids' shoes. This is a laborious task, folks. I'm telling you, witchcraft can be difficult, okay? But entering into the house with anointed feet is the way that I like to go about it. Like I'll spray my shoes because I'll typically be out in the yard under the stars for the new year, and I'll spray my shoes when I walk inside at the new year to light my candle. And foot track magic is a big
Mm.
thing for me. Like I like to work with that kind of energy. I'm already set, I'm already ready to go. But as far as spirit work, your candle that you are lighting, if you've got a blessing candle, that is to welcome your spirits in. That is not just for you, but it's to welcome the magic back into the space, to welcome your spirits, to welcome your house spirits, your ancestors. You can also create new candles for your ancestors to light up, and you would already have refreshed your ancestral altar or your spirit altar, just preparing for the new year anyway. And so it'd have fresh water, fresh offerings, fresh coffee, fresh tobacco, fresh everything. And so you're already looking after that. And then when you light your blessing candle at the stroke of midnight, that sort of wakes everything up. Like it just goes,
Mm.
the energy just wakes it all up. And so shoes and candle.
Shoes and candles, baby. All right, that's awesome. Let's get into some of our personal goals. So, if anyone already knows, has any inkling of their goals for the following year, for next year, please feel free to share in the chat with us. I still feel like
Mm,
I'm working some things out, although I've got some idea. What about you? Do you have any goals already in mind for next year that you'd
yes,
like to share?
yes. I have to meet the deadline for my Oracle deck.
Yes.
I also have to meet the deadline for my book. And so to complete those two tasks, that will all be sort of like Q2. So Q1 and Q2, that they will be my goals. And then I am aiming to hopefully be ready this year to buy a new car. Oh, not a new car,
Ooh.
but like a better car to
Yeah,
upgrade my car.
very
And
nice.
yeah, so these are my goals for the year. I also aim to paint my home.
Mm.
So some of these tasks, I'm just looking cosmetically at my home. I'm aiming to paint, and a personal witchy goal of mine is to grow roses because I
Mm.
use an inordinate amount of roses in my personal practice. They are very, very much a part of my culture. And so I then don't have to traipse the the neighborhood stealing people's white roses.
Do that.
So these are my goals. These are actively my goals, but in alignment with like authenticity, I want to be a little bit more disciplined and active. Like I want to commit to a schedule for YouTube. I haven't uploaded to YouTube
Mm.
for a little while. I've been there, I've been on there, I've been streaming and all of that kind of stuff, but like, pre-recorded videos and all of that. I want to be very mindful of my time.
Mm.
And I don't want to overextend myself. So this is about being very honest with myself and what I can achieve and how I can achieve it, and being prepared to like schedule myself properly and divvy up my week accordingly, and make sure to leave that little bit of time at the end of the year to spend quality time with my children, because they came back to me this year with like a fucking vengeance going, Mummy, you're always working. And
Mm.
I'm like, and I looked at my son and I'm like, that's because you want Jordans, not just shoes. You want Jordans. Okay.
Who's paying for that? Yeah.
That's because you go to a private school, bro. Okay.
Mm.
So for the longest time, I've been pouring a lot of energy into work and ensuring that I can, meet every expectation. And I failed horribly. I won't even pretend. Like, because I have just piled too much on my plate, my excitement and
Mm.
my enthusiasm for things sometimes like gets me in trouble in a nice way. Like I will commit and overcommit. But this year I've learned my lesson,
Mm.
and I am being extremely like, no, I can't do that. I don't, I'm not scared about saying no to people anymore. And that's a
Mm.
beautiful thing. Like, I would love to, but I can't. I would love to go and meet you for a drink, but I can't. I would
Mm.
love to do this experience, but I can't. And it's not because I can't because I don't want to. It's I
Mm.
can't because I don't have the time. I'm very booked.
Yeah.
So, and it's just falling in love with my work again. And I think the fact that I've got these goals with my publisher has helped me to really fall in love and feel like this deep kind of gratitude for, the work that I do. And
Mm.
to be working with such an ethical and beautiful publisher like Blue Angel, which is an Australian publishing house of high reputation. I just feel very honored and very grateful. And so that gratitude is sort of carrying me forward. That makes me sit and want to do my best. That makes me sit and channel my muse to the best of my ability. And, that all sort of like bleeds out into the rest of my life. And so, yeah, they're my goal.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
2026. Let's fucking go. I found that
Mm.
really interesting. You were saying about just committing and overcommitting. I'm wondering if this is a Taurian thing or not, because my husband is the worst at this. And he's not like you, where he's like, let me sort myself out here. He will promise, like, anytime anyone asks him for anything, he always says yes. But does he follow through? Maybe 30% of the time. Like it's
Oh,
bad, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm like, maybe it's a
yeah.
Taurus thing. I don't know. Um,
I think it is. I think it is because we always want to like we always want to be there for our people. Like
yeah,
I'll do anything to be there for my people.
yeah.
Like my friend needs a hand. My friend calls me in the middle of the night. Can you come and pick me up? My car's broken down. I'm there for them. I will.
Mm,
I'm that ride or die friend, right? But I can't be that all the time because I have my own life at the same
mm.
time. And so yeah, it's a difficult, challenging time. I think what I have learned as a Taurus, and maybe you can sort of like suggest this to your husband, is good, clear communication. Like my favorite word is maybe.
Mm,
Maybe. The kids are like, can we go to the movies this weekend? I'm like,
maybe.
maybe. And so I don't up their expectations. There's hope, there's possibility. And sometimes, yes, I will take them to the movies. Sometimes, no. Weather is shit. A commitment has come up. Something's happened. My attention needs to go elsewhere. But maybe is like a magical kind of word, I feel. And
Mm,
it's sort of like, I can't promise anything, but I'll try.
yeah,
There's that energy as
that's the
well.
way to go about it for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Gemini has shared her goal, and her goal for the coming year is to go deep with tarot the following year.
Oh,
Amazing.
yes,
Um,
I'm for that.
for that always. So for myself, some of my personal goals, house painting, yes, I hadn't even put it on, but I have purchased tins of paint and not got there yet. So there's a few different rooms in my house that I would like to get to as well. So I'm still not in alignment with that goal though. So I'm going to have to work on that one. Um,
Mm.
Health is a continued, so I really focused a lot on that this year, but that is a continued area for me. I've got specific goals that I want to get to. So I'm just going to continue running with that. I am so grateful for where my body is at now compared to where it was at the start of the year. At the start of the year, you guys, well, literally right at the end of last year, I went to see my doctor and he almost keeled over and had a freaking heart attack because my blood pressure was so high, like through the roof high. And he was like, you need to, of all health things, this is what you have to focus on, right? So I'll just let you guys know, I don't know if anyone knows this, but what it's supposed to be, our blood pressure, if we're healthy, it's supposed to be 120 over 80, right? So 120 is so these are the heartbeats. So is the heart open, heart closed, right? Those are the two numbers, heart open, heart closed. 120 over 80. Mine was 200 and something over 100 and something. So it needs to be below those numbers if you are healthy. So I was like off the scale, terrible. Now I've got my own blood pressure monitor and I have lowered it down almost to a healthy level. I'm like 135 over 77 now, which is like amazing. So I'm still working on it, but that is just an incredible an incredible feat to do without medication or anything like that. That's just lifestyle change. So
Mm.
more improvements in that regard. And as I was going through and reflecting on my year, I realized that one of my biggest goals for 2025 was creativity. And I don't really feel like I met that at all. Now, we did start a podcast. I know. I joined this amazing like tarot team and we're doing these things, but it's really weird what this experience has been for me. So we birthed the podcast. I don't even know how many months ago it was now.
Hang on, I'll tell you because I've got my podcast book
There you
here.
go. So it has taken the most extraordinary amount of energy from me to do this. But what has
In
been very
July.
July, I thought it was about 6 months ago. The weird thing for me is like when I was thinking I want to be creative, it was more like from an empowered space. I'm going to see if I can explain this, right? So like I am coming here and I'm creating this thing. Whereas what's happened or my experience over the last 6 months is like I yelled out into the void and went, "Hey, Avalon, I want to do this thing." She's like, "No worries, let's go." And we started, and then it's almost like my energy's been stolen almost for it. It's been really interesting. And I know it's been other things playing into it as well, sleep, health, whatever, but it's been a weird kind of experience in this way where I've just kind of felt dragged along behind the cart, you know? So this coming year, I'm wanting to be more in it, you know, like these things, these projects were birthed. I actually didn't plan in my mind birthing them until 2026, but things happened in my world where it was like, you got to fucking start now. And I'm grateful for that. It's been like a messy start, but so necessary. And I think just, it's been a beautiful process overall. So anyway, next year, this is not a specific goal yet. Over the coming weeks, I'll, get it specific, but it is creativity. Like, I feel like it's really time. I'm a deeply creative person that hasn't been doing a lot of creative stuff. And I think it's been spiritually taxing. So that's something I would like to do for the coming year. And someone asked this question, which I really liked. Is there anything new in witchcraft you'd both like to learn for 2026? Or any new areas, I guess, of exploration?
In witchcraft.
In witchcraft. I guess for me, last year I said palmistry, and I vaguely started studying palmistry, only a little bit. So possibly, maybe that will be something that I deepen this coming year. We'll see.
Mm,
About you, anything new?
I
Anything?
think not so much learning because
She's been doing this for a minute.
I've I've been here for a minute. I've touched on just about everything. Just honestly, just about everything. And anything that I haven't touched on, I have no desire to touch on that. That really comes down to it. But I have this breadth of experience behind me. But what I'd actually like to do is actually start making my own goodies a little bit. Now, I can make my things. I can make my incense sticks. I can make my cone incense. I know how to make stuff. But it's more about really settling into the bones of being a true maker and making sure that what I make is skin safe. And that requires knowledge that I don't yet possess. So that would be definitely something that I would look to because I spend an enormous amount of money on oils because I'm a bit like, I don't want to do it. But after we made our creativity oil, and I am like,
Mm.
I put some in my hair and I was mental, like absolutely mental.
I was saying that.
I submitted to writing competitions. I did all sorts of things during that period of time where I was working with that oil. And I actually sent some away to a beautiful woman that won a prize for Taro Summer School. I was a teacher at Taro Summer School this year, and she won a prize. So I sent her a crystal, my creativity oil, making sure to say this is not skin safe. Okay, this is not one of those oils, and a nice little piece of Palo Santo. So I'd love to hear how she's going with that because that oil was fucking mental,
It was
absolutely mental.
mental. I was thinking about that earlier, actually. The way I've never been haunted by a project before like that. And I'm speaking specifically, it was, when we started the podcast, of course, but I was really working on it with this song, our little jingle at the start. And like
Oh yeah.
I've never been haunted like that in all my life. Like all through the night, all through the day, this song for weeks and weeks and weeks was just playing through my head until it was finally finished. It was insane.
That's excellent. I love that. Yeah, I think like just making more, just having more autonomy. Another big side of my practice is like cultivating my land. I talk about this every year, and it's getting out of hand. Like we haven't had a sunny day. Like we have sun, but it comes with rain. So my
Mm.
grass, even though I'm mowing almost once a week, my grass is like knee high. Like it just grows voraciously. And because it's summer and I'm in a temperate climate. So I really need to like figure out a way in which I can get on top of that for me. And that comes down to land conservation and cultivation. And so that is going to be like a big goal of mine.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Not looking forward to it. I am and I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I am terrified of the ride-on mower. I'm terrified of it. And we have one, and I could be getting around on it, but I keep thinking I'm going to fall off or crash into something. And to be fair, I almost have a couple of times crashed into something. So it's not an unfounded fear.
Yeah.
But my last boyfriend had an accident with a ride-on lawnmower and it blew out his ankle and he had to have a full reconstruction and almost amputation. Like it was this whole thing.
Mm.
He's an asshole, but at the end of the day, what happened to him happened on a ride-on. And so it was a freak accident on a ride-on. So now I'm like the fear of God is inside of me when it comes to a ride-on. So
Oh,
yeah, so it takes me much longer to actually get on top of all the yard work because I'm not on the ride-on. Like a ride-on would
yeah.
be so quick,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, maybe there'll be some fear facing
Maybe.
this coming
Maybe
year.
this is the year.
Yeah. Maybe you could I just had a flash of you drawing a bunch of sigils on it as well. Like maybe just
Oh
witchify
no,
the
I've done
shit out.
that. I've
You've
done it.
already done
I,
it.
I have sigils on my gum boots. I have sigils on my chicken coop.
It's magic. It's done. It's
I
happened.
have snake sigils on my gum boots because this is where we live. Anti-snake sigils.
Yeah. Which is a lovely piece of historical Australian magic as well that I did find somewhere many years ago.
Oh,
Anyway,
very nice.
so let's move into, okay, I just want to touch on, I think, the opening energy of the new year, and then let's
Yep.
chat gift ideas for witches after that.
Yeah.
So you guys, I don't know if you've looked ahead at the coming year, but we have some really cool numerological energy kicking us off for the start of the year. So I'm calling these the 3 keys of 2026, and I plan to do some big magic on these days. So you guys, we've talked about New Year's Eve and crossing that threshold. If you're home, oh my God, do the magic if you have the opportunity, because it's so powerful. But then we have the very first day of 2026 is Thursday. So that's number 1 on Thursday, on Jupiter's day. Incredible for prosperity work. Okay. So adding in your intentions there. If you're working that petition that Avalon spoke about earlier, amazing. Or you could do something else, another little piece of magic for that day, focusing on your prosperity, right? And then we have Friday, which is the 2nd, right? Number 2, Venus's day. So amazing for that love work, right? So again, pouring that into your working, or if you want to focus specifically on any love magic, that's an amazing day to do it. And then the next day, on the 3rd, we have the full moon. Like, shut the front door. Like, this is amazing to open up the year. I've never seen this before. So I'm really excited to like lay down some magic to begin this year. Oh my God.
The pressure is on, the pressure is on to make the most of it.
Yeah, harness that energy. Like, it's there. It's there for us. All we need to do is consciously connect, right?
Yeah.
Harness that power.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be working, the closing of the year to the opening of the new year. It's going to be in the waxing phase. So all positive magics there, all positive magics. And so it's currently the waning phase. So if you want to do any of your cleaning and clearing work, this is around the time to do it. And if you can get that done before the 20th, that's the new moon, isn't it?
Yes, dark moon on the 20th. Yep.
And so that's a great time. Absolutely fantastic time.
Yeah.
So work with the energies of I can't divorce myself of the energies of the moon. Mind you, this week I had a breakthrough, a little witchy breakthrough, because I'm so disciplined with the moon. Like, oh, it's waning and it's in Leo. And I'm like, this is the internal stuff that I need to do and all of that kind of stuff. So I simply just activated everything, and I sat down and I'm like, oh my God, I can feel that magic. I can feel it around me. And I'm like, so I'm starting to think that while, yes, it's good for removing energy, you can still work with that waning energy. The essence of that moon is still there. It's there in a lesser stage.
Yeah.
And while it's growing lesser and lesser, it's still energy pools that you can work with. And you can go with the tide of removal. And if you're working, let's say you're working creativity magic, you can actively go, okay, I want to remove my creativity blocks. In a waning moon in Leo, for instance, I want to eradicate all my creativity blocks and cleanse and clear the way so that I can really harness my creativity and channel it into something worthwhile and beautiful. So still working creativity magic. Just the end of it.
That's right. Yeah. We're so lucky, you guys, right now. Like, the fact that we're chatting about this, we're aware of this, the moon is lined up for us, the numerology is there for us, like powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Such a good vibe.
Should we chat gift ideas for witches?
Absolutely. I think so, because it is the gift giving season. Whether you celebrate Christmas or the gift giving season or Yule or Litha, it's just a great time to like okay. I was speaking to my kids about this because they're like, some of my kids love the fact that I'm witchy, and my eldest daughter's like, I don't really care, Mum. It's not for me. Like, she's in that vibe. And I'm like, did you know that the practice of leaving, the carrot and the cookies and the milk or the drink for Santa is spirit work? And so I'm watching their little minds do their thing. I like to say this to people all the time. I like muggles especially. I'm like, it's spirit work. You're feeding the spirit of Saint Nick.
It's witchcraft.
In your home. That's fucking witchcraft. Like, don't come at me. It is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, there's that vibe. Anyways, I don't even know why we're talking about that. I forgot my
We
train
are
of thought.
talking about gift ideas for witches.
Mm,
So yes, this is the time for giving. So we thought we'd kind of throw out some magical ideas, I guess, for any
mhm,
witches on your list or for yourself, because I don't know about you
mm,
guys, but I'm always the best gift buyer for myself.
mm. I buy the craziest shit. Do you want to go first? Do you want to? We'll go item
Sure.
for item.
All right. Should we do one and then one, or just
Yep.
Yep. All right. So my first idea is a thoughtfully chosen deck. This is one of my favorite gifts to give to people.
Mhm.
Probably because I'm so obsessed with decks myself, and receiving them from someone else is just like, oh my God, you know? But I really love to, again, thoughtfully choose. So, like, what would this person want or need? What's their vibe? If I know them quite well, what don't they kind of have in their collection, I guess? But mostly it's focused on my relationship with that person and what I think they could really use. So
Mm,
a lot of the time it will be an oracle deck, just
mm.
because it's something a
Safe.
little bit more, out of the ordinary or whatever. But I just think it makes the most lovely gift.
Oh, yes. You are absolutely right. I had that on my list as well. And I've put down for witches specifically, if you're buying this for a witch, I'm going to put my own bone stone in there
Mm-hmm.
because she's very fucking witchy. But I will also put the Witch
Hold it up.
Sister Tarot.
Oh yeah.
It's such a banger. And there's the bone stone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
And
do this thing again. I'm just gonna hold up some cards while Avalon talks.
I think one of my girlfriends that I was in year one with, like I've known her my whole life, she went into Big W and she's like, I bought it. This is my first tarot deck. And then she's like, I'm gonna teach myself tarot. And I'm like, read the
Ah.
book. Read the book. It'll teach
Yeah.
you tarot. The book will teach you tarot.
That's so cool. And I just want to mention again, because someone was upset in the comments earlier. So it's been selling out like hotcakes in Australia, and it's not quite landed elsewhere yet, but it's coming like super, super soon in the next few weeks, right? So keep your
Yeah.
eyes peeled. You will be able to get it really soon. And I'm just going to keep
Actually,
teasing.
it's meant to be. It was meant to make it. What day is it today? The 10th. It was
And
meant to make it to the US, to Llewellyn on the 8th. So
so literally you can get it any day now.
I'm gonna Google it.
Let's have a quick check. But this deck is a fabulous, fabulous gift idea for sure. It's amazing, as you can see. Another one that I had was we were talking about making oils before. Now, crafting oils and formulas is actually one of my most favorite things to do. And it's actually something that I've wanted to do in more of a professional capacity. It's just the idea of like shipping and packaging and everything. I'm like, I can't, like, I do not want
Mm,
that life. But this is a really lovely opportunity as a gift to actually create an oil or some kind of dry formula, even if you wanted, custom made for your witchy BFF, right? Something that they need, something that you know that they are moving towards or whatever, something that will support them specifically. Or if you don't have anything specific in mind, you can also create one based on their astrological energy. So a really great way to do this is to focus on their big three: their sun, their moon, and their rising sign. And you can add that or weave that energy into the formula itself. You can also do one to, if you're more, let's say, versed in astrology and kind of you look ahead at your friends' transits for the coming year, if they've got like some big crazy transit or something that they're going through, you could create an oil or formula to help soothe or ease that for them as well. So there's a
mhm.
few ideas there.
Yeah. And just quickly, it's not at Llewellyn, but it is at US Games, so you can order
Okay.
it from US Games.
There you go, you guys. Look at the
And
deck
it's in
card.
stock. It's also on Amazon, but a bit expensive on Amazon.
Mm. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, the Eight of Cups. Look at that.
That's Morgana Le Fay.
Oh, So amazing. So I told Avalon, you guys, when I went through this deck for the first time, I was shook because I didn't know who was going to be in the deck, right? Like what, and anything about it really. And I said to her, I'm like, all my bitches are in here. This is amazing. So I work with, you know, goddesses and figures, let's say beings, spiritual beings from around the world. So I've never seen them collected in one place before. So I was just like,
Oh,
I loved that
yeah.
little detail.
Yes, well, I had to go there because I'm a spirit worker. So
Absolutely. All right, what other gift ideas do you have for us?
well, I would add to the tarot list, I think one of the kind of most, I will use the word innocent, but not in the way that you believe. Like if you're scared to frighten someone with this gift, with a gift of tarot, and they're just a little bit like, they're a bit woo-woo, they're a bit mystical, but they're not witchy, then I would suggest the Light Seers Tarot
Oh,
for them.
I have that one right
Yeah.
here too. Yeah.
If you are very witchy and you are interested in the fantastical, that enchanted whimsy, then there's an oracle deck called The Forager's Daughter that's
Ooh.
on Etsy. Absolutely exquisite. Absolutely exquisite.
I'm gonna look that one up
And
later. I haven't heard of that one.
oh yeah. Yeah. The Witch Sister is for deep witch work. I won't even use that one for client readings. I just like every time I pull a card, I'm just like, oh my God. I pulled Land the other day. Here, I'll show you. Just so that you can get a vibe. Look at this. Hang on.
Mm.
There.
Oh,
Like this is a kind of a darker kind of card. It's coming across very bright, but it's got all of these old gnarled kind of
mm.
figures, and it just, I don't know, it gives crone, it gives serious, it gives the vibe.
Love that. Witch
And
wisdom.
so, witch wisdom. But I'll also say something practical, which every witch loves to have, is a mortar and pestle.
Yes. I have so
Yeah.
many. Yes.
A good medium-sized stone mortar and pestle. Now, not all mortar and pestles are made equal. Small wooden mortar and pestles, they're for bruising fresh leaves. So you can only do so much with that.
Hmm.
But a good stone cooking mortar and pestle can grind down incense, like frankincense, myrrh, benzoin. It can turn it
Presence.
into
Yeah.
powder. You can really like get in there and do
Mm.
the work with it. And so I have many. I have a collection, if you will.
Same.
But I think it's just wonderful to have, and they don't need to be
Mm.
very big. I've actually got a cooking one that's really like a witchcraft one, but but it's about that big, and it's fantastic. It's sitting on my kitchen table right now, filled with incense that I made using it. So
Yeah,
there you have it.
they're the best.
Um, here's like I've got a little kitschy one for you. Giving your witchy friend or yourself, because you deserve this, ingredients that you can't just necessarily go out and buy. So, for instance,
Mm.
dehydrated lemon, lime, and orange. And you can create craft with this. You can use it in magic, but you can actually bundle up and tie up loosely and give it as a gift, like these beautiful citrusy kind of dried, dehydrated things. You can give wild harvested, an assortment of wild harvested flowers, for instance. So you can go out and pilfer, like I do, roses from someone's garden, and fill up a little bottle and add a little glitter to it, add a few drops of essential oils, and like make a little like love mix for someone, because I find that
Mm.
gifting love, gifting healing, gifting blessings are all very good kind of energy returns, and it's like being kind. It's the equivalent, the magical equivalent of being kind to someone. When you are kind to someone, that kindness is oftentimes reciprocated, unless we're dealing
Mm.
with assholes, in which case this is why we protect ourselves.
Yes.
But yes, yes, mortar and pestle and some nice little kind of dried things. You can't go out and buy dried orange here where I live, so I have a dehydrator, and I use it to dry
Mm.
my goodies.
That's a great idea to give those things that people don't have on hand to them, their own
Mm,
little apothecary. I love that. Something
yes, that's
else,
exactly right.
something else I wrote down is a notebook or a journal. Now, The only thing I was thinking is because I'm already seeing it in the chat, right? Earlier on, someone's talking about how they've got notebooks and journals that they're not using. Witches tend to do this. Ladies, please use your notebooks and journals. Stop saving them, okay? Stop saving them for years and years and years and the perfect thing. Just get in there and use them. So notebook or a
Mm.
journal, always useful for a witch, right? Always, we're always reaching for new notebooks. And the one other thing I wanted to mention was kind of in that line, but this is the My Brilliant Year workbook. So this is by Leonie Dawson, who is actually Australian as well, so that's cool. But she creates these workbooks every year. So she has like a personal one, which is this one, and she's got a business one as well. You can purchase these on Amazon and wherever, right? But they're really handy if you want a little bit more structure or help in like releasing the last year. I love that. It has like a whole like pages and pages for like release work. And then it's got your goals and areas for you to write and plan for the coming year as well. Now, what I really like about these is Leonie Dawson is quite woo-woo, right? So there's like a little witchy vibe in there ish, right? And a lot of things that a lot of us will focus on as well, like word of the year and things like that. So I've actually purchased this for other people, my friends in previous years. And I just want to say, make sure you're buying it for the right person if you do decide, because sometimes people can feel pressure. So if you give this to them, they might be like, oh my God, like all the goals and they've got to be in the right place for this kind of tool. But it can be a really amazing gift as well.
Oh, yes, very nice. And to go with that, a nice fountain pen or
Yeah.
a quill.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use magical inks with a quill, like especially a dip pen. So I have many quills and dip pens. People like to gift me these things. So I like to use them as well. But I'm very big on journals and I'm very big on paper. I am the biggest snob when it comes to a notebook and paper. So I would recommend the Moleskine, um, the grid paper
Mm.
and floppy cover, kind of soft cover. I would recommend that as your everything journal. Like I have an everything journal, kind of like the professional equivalent of a day book. So I'll write someone's phone number, I'll write a recipe in there, I'll write a great idea, I might journal for a page. Like it's got a little bit of everything because I'm neurodivergent and I can't stick to one thing. So I'll do that. But then my actual like work, business, life management journal is the Hobonichi. And I have an A6, 5, 4, I can't remember. It's a little one anyway. Um, and I'm very, very careful and very, very cautious with that. This is where I write my lists. I do a little bit of art, but I have a fountain pen to go with that one, and I have great, beautiful ink to go with that one. And so I like to make everything feel a little bit more magical, a little bit more luxurious.
Mm.
But yeah, I can't just work with like, like no one in my life would give me a composition notebook, put it that way. No one. No
Don't
one
you
would.
dare.
No, I need to know. And the reason why I've chosen these as my preferred tools, I've been using the Hobonichi for 10, 12, 13 years. So a long time. And before that, I used to use a Midori Traveler notebook with Tomo River paper. And the Tomo River paper is for fountain pens specifically, but it also carries watercolor. You can put a little bit of mixed media on it as
Mm.
well. It doesn't bleed through, it doesn't ghost or anything like that. That's super important. I prefer dot grid to grid, but I will not. I hate lines. Even though my current notebook for the podcast is lines, I'm just like, that's what I had at the time. This is what I use it for. So I try not to be too precious.
Hmm.
But I think thinking about these types of things, when you are in fact going to work with these tools, make sure that they're at least tools that you enjoy.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that you want to spend time with, exactly. But not so precious that you don't freaking use them. Go use them.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly right.
the other gift, this is my last gift idea that I have written down, and that is a good witchy book, one that you have personally vetted, right? Because there is a ton of literature out there, and we know that now since the age of Instagram, right? Books cannot be judged by their cover because, oh my God, they look beautiful, they look witchy, they're filled with nothing, right? So, a good witchy book that you've personally read that you know has some good shit in it, right? That is a great gift idea as
Mm.
well.
I'll give you some recommendations in alignment with that. I would say, what is it? Working with the Ancestors, A Guide to Ancestral
Yes.
Veneration by Mallory Vaudeuse.
However we say her name.
Vaudeuse. I would also put, what is that one? Traditional Witchcraft. That's the one. The Traditional Witchcraft, A Cornish Book of Ways by Gemma
Oh,
Gary.
yes. Anything by Gemma Gary.
Mm-mm. There is, what's a really good one that I recently read? I read a lot. So, um, what is that one by Star Cassis?
Which one?
Southern Conjure, I think it is.
Oh, old style conjure?
Old style conjure. Thank you so much.
This
Yeah. Old style conjure. Absolutely. Or because I don't have them near me, the black and purple red folder.
Black and red.
Black and red.
Oh, shoot. My books are falling. I've taken too many books out. So these ones by Catherine, they're edited by Catherine Ironwood. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely gorgeous, right? Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I would recommend Starships or Animistic by Gordon White. They're a Scarlet imprint book, so they're a witchy kind of pagan imprint. And so some great books, some great options for books. I am very, very, very particular about my literature. Very. I don't like to read the most popular thing because I've read the most popular thing over and over and
That's
over
it.
again.
Yeah.
I opened up Instagram today and there was like work with the moon. And I'm like, yes, because there isn't already 1 million books on working with the moon.
Exactly. Like anyway.
It's getting a little bit ridiculous. So all right, I've got a couple. I've still got a couple on my list.
Please share.
Good candlestick holders.
They're
beautiful. You can give them to a witch or you can give them to a friend. But a good candlestick holder needs to fit the candle, like because they don't.
Not always.
And be somewhat fireproof. And be able to catch any kind of drippings, any kind of candle dripping. So these are investment kind of gifts for yourself or for your loved one. I'm also going to put on there 7-day candles if you have access to it, and black and white specifically, because that's the balance that I personally work with on my altar, the black and white candle. And if you have access to 7-day candles, then just like, I love that for you. I just love it so hard for you. But then I've got some gizmos and gadgets because I think these are really pretty. So things like this, these are magical wooden spoons. So they're really lovely for simmer pots and for making and creating. And the tool that I use, this is my most used tool, hands down. My most used tool, you're going to laugh. My most used tool, I use it every single day in some capacity or another.
I know what's coming. Here he is. So pretty.
So this is something that I will use. Like this point, I will dip into oil and I will inscribe my candles. I will also use it to pick up the wick that has drooped inside a candle. So it's got a nice little lifting component to it. This side here is the perfect size for resin in the center of a charcoal disc. So I put my powders and my resins and I'll pick it up and I'll just pop it in there and it'll be lovely. If I've got jar candles that I need to fix, I'll actually heat it up with a candle and I'll poke 3 holes in the top of it, and then I'll pour in oils and herbs and things like that in there. I like to poke my money bowl with it, with a bit of oil in the end, and just like fluff it a little bit, if you will. And basically, like, it is my most used tool. It is hands down my most used tool. I'll move and stoke my charcoal discs when they're burning. So it's just the best. It's the best little tool ever. It's the best tool ever. I got this one from the Witch's Moon. So if they still have it independent, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So there is some little gift ideas, some gifty ideas for you. Crystals are always good. Rattles and bells are always lovely to give. But I think, oh, actually, I'll give you one for Australian witches. I personally, I bought it, but it hasn't arrived yet, which is strange. But it is a Australian diary. Not a diary, sorry, a calendar, an Australian wall calendar in which the artwork matches the Australian seasons.
Mm.
And so it's very much for the Southern Hemisphere. So if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I'll see if I can find the details of this girl, but I ordered them. I ordered them from her, and hopefully it arrives soon. I think it was for pre-orders or something like that. So we will see. We will see.
You can find little things like that on Etsy. I've got one too. I'm trying to remember the name of the business, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I know I think it's a moon diary or something. No, Southern Hemisphere moon diary. That's a different thing, but that's like an actual diary for us as well. There's a couple of things available like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Instagram is a great place to sort of find these things. I don't deal with like cheap anything. Like I'm a Taurus. I can find the good quality. I gravitate towards the good quality. It's not even the most expensive. Like I think this is the common misconception that the most expensive is also the best quality, and oftentimes that is not the case anymore. But I can always find the good quality. And so I'm very careful with what I buy. So take it under advisement that I have given you solid suggestions and subscriptions. Actually, I will say this: if you
That's a good
have someone
idea.
that you love and adore, if you're a parent of a witchy child, buy them a 6 month, 3 month, 6 months, or 12-month subscription to a witchy subscription box, like the Witch's Moon or the Witch's Casket, or if they're a little bit less witchy and a little bit more woo-woo, then maybe the Goddess Provisions or something like that. And they're great little options
Hmm.
to get a little something every month and to have that gift keep giving. It's expensive, yes, but the vibe is good nonetheless.
Hmm. Absolutely. Well, I think that's it for us. Now we were going to jump off at 11. So how are you going for time?
I've got 10 more minutes I
All
can
right, great.
dedicate.
Well, should we pull a couple of cards? We were going to do that so we can do
Absolutely, I
a
think
10-minute
so.
quick reading session. All right. How would you like to do this today?
All right. So, for those watching, and if you would like a reading, this is a reading for the new year. So, something to let go of and something to embrace for the new year. So, two cards, right?
Mhm.
And if you would like a reading, then by all means say me. And you don't even have to write the question. You can simply write, I want a reading, nice big capitals, and we will pull two cards for you. One, something to let go of, something to embrace for the new year. So if you
Yes.
could do that in all capitals, that would be great so that we can differentiate in the comments. So I might grab my deck. I will use the Bone Stone.
Put the bone stone. I think I'm going to use an oracle. Because I've got these seasons. Oh, let me show you what it is. What the Seasons of a Witch Yule right
Oh,
here.
nice.
So I actually forgot I had this. I pulled it out last night. So it's not one I'm super familiar with because I haven't used it since last year, as it turns out, but it's appropriate for the season.
Oh, I like it.
All right. Okay. Rock and Robin. Oh, sorry. No, Gemini Sky is first.
Oh, wait, I can't use this one because I've got reversals and I don't want to reset it.
Okay.
Those reversals were for a specific reading, so
Hmm.
I don't have the time. I'll use my good fortune.
Perfect. Okay.
All
And
right.
do you want to do Robin's letting? Do you want to do the letting go of?
Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
the letting go of.
Okay.
All right. I'll pull the letting go of, and then you can pull the bringing in. That works.
Hmm.
Okay. Shit.
Let's go, Gemini.
You're letting go of the happy family idea.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to read this properly for you, okay? So, this is emotional fulfillment, everything together. But this is a reminder that you still have goals. That even if you are living in a state of happily ever after, or your emotional kind of house, so to speak, is in order and it feels fulfilling and everything is good, your relationships are good, the family is good, the emotional connections are all good, that it's important not to just rest there and let that energy stagnate. That the goal should be to continuously feed that beautiful energy moving forward. So let go of this, now that I've got it, I don't have to do any more work for it kind of energy. And don't kind of stagnate. Don't allow that energy to stagnate.
So I got this card for you, my love. Turning inward, it says. And let me just read a little poetry to you. It says, "Inside this veil of bone and flesh, I lay my soul to sleep. All the truths within thy breath have come to greet me." So I'm feeling, at least for the beginning of this coming year, there is a very strong pull inward. So I think with Avalon's card there, what I felt was like a little bit of external energy. So I felt the external energy with your card. And this is like, okay, let's go in now. So stop focusing on the outer. And I guess on those things that you've already achieved. It's like now it's time to go within, get really clear with yourself, sit with yourself, ignore that outer noise, right? And just go really, really deep in connection with you. And what is it that you want? What is it that you want to focus on? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your life to be made up of, right? All of the habits and the things that we do make up our life. Like that's our life, you know? So instead of focusing on the if, then, and when, focus on the now and really go within. Focus on what you want to the exclusion of others.
Nice. A little sacred selfishness there.
Sacred selfishness. Yes. All right. Rockin' Robin.
Okay. So this deck is not.
Ooh.
God. All right. We got
Oh,
the
wow.
sun. Okay. So I find that the sun is about expansion and celebration and exalting thyself and like, receiving that beautiful validation. So this is the end of that cycle for you now. And this is not to say that it's just going to like be taken away from you abruptly or anything, but it's time to focus on a brand new project. So
Mm.
something to bring in and, sort of like, harness that same kind of energy that it kind of brings ending to one cycle and a beginning to another cycle. So the vibe is high. This is a good card for summer. So if you're in Australia specifically, this is fantastic. Like this is the end of the year to to the new year. Like it all happens in summer, that kind of energy. But there is a little bit of like understanding that I'm gonna make this a little deeper. So the sun can sometimes equate to the literal sun, like my son, my small child boy, kind of my son. And it can sometimes be a big nod towards the patriarchy. I'm not trying to be political here when I say this, but it can also be an opportunity for you to sift through and see, how it is that your practice has been either enhanced or suppressed by outside influences that seek to repress you and work out a way in which to liberate yourself from those little sort of ties that bind. I'm not talking about anything insidious here. I'm simply talking about sometimes we are affected by things and we don't even realize it. And when you stop to think and sort of like burrow through and really see, you're like, oh my God, that's not coincidence. Actually, that is the design. That's design
Mm.
right there. So it's looking through the design, but not losing any of that shine. It's carrying it forward.
I love that. And guess what you are moving towards, my love? Tranquility.
Mm, I
How is
like
that
that.
for a card? So, in thy womb of blissful quietening and calming stillness lives the world of lives the world of worlds spellbound to the silence. So there you go.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
yeah, so I think there's this tying up energy, you know, you know, doing those things that Avalon already spoke about, but you're moving forward to a beautiful, beautiful place, like that inner peace, that sense of okayness, like I am okay no matter what happens. Honestly, in my mind, that is the richest wealth that we could possibly have, right? That sense of peace. And it because it's not just a fleeting thing, it is a deeper knowing, it's a deeper connection with spirit as well, with higher self, if you want to go in that direction. But it's like that deepening within. So I think this is a really lovely card for you. I think you're going to be experiencing a lot of peace and joy this coming year.
Mm, I like that.
Okay. Then we have Fae of the Forest. Fae.
All right. I've got my card. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a change in the tides of your life right now. And one cycle needs to be brought to a close firmly and definitively. Like bury that shit. Cord cut if you must. Do the thing, do the work for that so that you can bring in a new cycle. So this is a literal end of one cycle and an entry point into a brand new cycle. But the nature and the value and the essence of that new cycle is entirely dependent on how you frame it in your mind.
Mm.
Okay, so I want you to be very positive about moving forward. Like, shut that shit off, cut those cords, do the work, and then step into the new chapter. Like, embrace it. Almost in a like, I hate saying it, but like a fake it till you make it. You might not be feeling it if you've said goodbye to something,
Mm.
but it's important to understand that when entering into the new year, the energy needs to be hopeful to a degree. I'm not telling you how to think and feel here, but to make the most of it, you need to kind of like embrace the potential of it. That's probably the best way of putting it because a new year comes with all this new potential and these new opportunities. It's a fresh start for many of us. It's permission to kind of change and to adapt and to evolve and to heal and to nurture and all of that kind of good fun stuff. So invest time and energy into those beautiful aspects of life and bring that cycle that is no longer serving you to a definitive close. And if this is like, what cycle? You know
Mm.
what cycle. You know the thing that's been like scratching at the back of your mind. You know it.
Mm-hmm. And moving through to 2026, you got the ceremony card.
Ooh,
This one says, I call upon those heralds of winter, dimming light for better sight. Hear thy praise spilling from thy lips, a spell I'll cast for thy spirits in me. And what I'm getting really strongly with this is a very strong call to your witchery, my darling. I don't know if you can see this figure here. We can kind of see her a little better there.
very high priestess energy.
Very high priestess energy. So this is, I feel, you really working in your power, right? Like stepping into, I guess, authenticity is a word that's coming in, stepping into your authenticity, not needing to be like anyone or anything else, not needing to be anything other than what you are, bringing yourself to your magic as you are, as the powerful being that you already are. Embracing your potential as a witch is what I really felt with this as well. So stepping into your magic, stepping into your studies, but because I know you mentioned study earlier, but practice specifically, right? So again, I just feel like so many of us put so much pressure on our practice of what it should be and what it must look like and all of that. But be the witch that you are, okay? And embrace your magic the way that you are and the way that it feels good to you, as you are cutting those cords and you are moving into this new cycle of empowered witch.
Nice. We've got time for one more?
More, let's do it. Aneries? Aneries. I think that's how I say your name. Aneries. I'm sorry, you guys. It's going to be our last one for today, but we will be doing. Oh, actually, we do have a Spread This Witches coming up on Sunday. So if you guys want a chance to have
Actually, yeah.
readings,
Let's do a little plug here.
yeah.
So on my channel, on my Avalon Cameron channel, we at Spread This Witches, that is myself, that is Owlvine and Alora. We will be interviewing the incredible, the incomparable, if you will, Fiona Horn, who is a witch and an oracle deck creator and a pilot and a fire dancer and an actress and a former rock star. Like, she is absolutely incredible and wild, and she will be joining us for 1 hour on my channel, and we are going to be interviewing her and then doing some like card slinging.
So fun. So that's this Sunday, although if you're in America, that'll be Saturday. Just because we
Yes.
have to confuse ourselves with friggin' time zones and everything.
If you're
Yeah.
a member of my newsletter, I sent it out in newsletter form, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I might have just done ours. I think I did ours.
You did do ours. I did read it. Yes.
I think I should probably do another newsletter for Fiona Horn.
It's very exciting.
I know, I'm so excited.
Okay, Aneries. Okay. Sorry.
All right, let's go. Hanged Man.
Ooh.
Okay, so this stagnation, this stillness, this inability or lack of desire, or sometimes even poor sort of like executive function, like the procrastination that executive function can sometimes bring. This is something you're going to have to let go of. And if my intuition is pointing me in the right direction, it's because this is going to be a much more busy year for you, a much more definitive year for you. So the Hanged Man is all about involuntary kind of hold up. Hold up. Time for a little wisdom to come through. Time for you to sort of sit within the bones of something. Like it's the physical equivalent, like it's the spiritual equivalent to being stuck in a traffic jam. You're already en route. You can't leave. You can't go forward. You can't go backwards. You are forced to be in stasis, so to speak. And so we have this energy, and this is what you're saying goodbye to, this energy of everything feeling heavy or kind of like upside down a little bit, or a little bit, just nothing seems to be sort of evolving or moving or moving. And it could very well be that you are on the wrong path, my love, that your attention is being funneled into something that truly doesn't serve your best interest or sort of align with your principles and your magic and your intentions. And so this is a great time to sort of like peel it back and have a look at exactly where you want to go and what it is that you want to do for the new year, and say goodbye to this inaction that has been the past year.
So for you, my love, I got the ornaments card right here. And this one says, so it is a remembrance of what once was and with what will be, a fragile beauty beaming upon thy. So the intuitive hit that I really strongly got as Avalon was speaking to you and looking into this card is that as above, so below energy. So you're kind of in this little stuckness energetically here at the moment. There's a call to really consider where you're going, right? Where you are, where you want to be, and what you can do to help to shift things for yourself. I did mention this earlier, but move things in the physical. Start to do a little physical cleaning. Clear your altar space, dust it down, right? Like actually make those changes in the physical, clean out a space. It doesn't have to have anything to do with your magical practice, but as above, so below. It is amazing how it works, but something will shift, especially if you're going into that consciously, right? Like I'm cleaning this thing here specifically because I need energy to move. Like spirits, I don't know what I need to do, but I'm doing this thing, this act, right? And it kind of sets a tone into the world, right? Like that sets your intention. I intend for this to be clear, right? And that is the path that you'll begin to move down. Yeah, I felt strongly about that. And then also I think just I mean, it is to do with the physical space as well, but beautify your life as well. Start to bring in things that bring you some joy. So clearing up that clutter is one of the things that we do so that we're not mentally cluttered anymore, right? Because even if you don't realize it, that stuff is affecting you mentally, which affects you spiritually and energetically and so on. So clear up your physical space to start moving the energy in your life.
I like that.
And beautify.
And beautify.
Beautify.
Always beautify.
All right. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with us. I wish that we could get to all of the readings because it's so fun, but we did talk quite a bit today. So we hope we've given you some great ideas and some inspiration for using the amazing energy, the natural energy of numerology and the moon that we have so on our side this year. We hope that it is a really powerful end to the year. Tie up all those loose ends and then step powerfully into your magic for 2026. I think it's going to be a good year.
Nice. Yes, I think it is going to be a good year. It's always better to think it is going to be a good year.
True that.
Always. I'm hopeful at the change of every new year. I'd like to come in with the right headspace, no matter how my year has gone, no matter what the energy was. I'm just like, well, I'm hopeful. I'm a hopeful person. I'm not a pessimist. So, and that's a chemical like wiring in your brain, by the way. You can change the way that you see things. It's better to sit in positivity than it is to sit in negativity. It's better for the nervous system. It's better for the health. It's better for the stress levels, the cognitive overload, all those kinds of stuff. And it's not about pretending. It's about sort of doing the work so that you can actually see the beauty in absolutely every situation, which is a challenge in and of itself. And I am not a master of that challenge. But I have started to frame the way that I see, like, negative events happening in my life. And yes, I'm irritated in the moment, but then I can pull myself back from that irritation. It's not about not feeling the feeling. It's about having a real genuine human reaction to a situation, but then going, okay, where's the medicine in this? Where's the medicine? What am I to learn from this situation? I'm always looking for the medicine in every situation. And it's about what I can do with that kind of energy is like always looking for the medicine means that I'm never going to blame someone else for my situation. I'm never going to like play the woe is me game. I'm simply going to go, okay, so what is the medicine? What am I to learn here? Where can I grow? What can I change? How can I adapt to this situation? It's always being constructive. And I'm always trying to be in a more constructive headspace and not a wallowing woe is me sort of headspace. I physically distance myself from people like that.
Yeah.
Because they have like that's a contagious energy.
Yes.
That energy catches. That's a contagious energy.
Absolutely.
And yeah, mind your vibe, people. Mind your fucking vibe.
Mind your vibe. And I feel like that has been the work of this year for many years. And it is a process, but the best thing about it is you don't have to be perfect to get good results. Right? You're always
That's
getting
right. 70%. 70%. I'm a reformed perfectionist. So my therapist taught me this. 70% is done. Done is better than not done.
Yes.
Done is good enough. It's not perfection, it's good enough. And 70% is actually great. So there are times where you can afford to give more and you can give 100%. But for those times that you can't, don't feel like it needs to be perfect. It just needs to be done. And so frame it in a way that makes sense to you. And you can apply that same kind of energy to the management of your home. You know, like cleaning can sometimes be a big chore for people. So 10-minute timer, clean a portion of your home. Do that one every day for a whole week, and your house will be clean. So it's about breaking things down and segmenting them in a way that you can digest. Like that's less overwhelming, because it can be very overwhelming out there, and we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves as a result of that. And we can be very unkind. We can be, and oftentimes is the case, and I think this is especially true for women, we like to make sure everybody else is okay. Everybody else has a full cup, everybody else has a plate done. We will always serve ourselves last. And so I want you to treat this as though it's an exercise of, like, you're on an airplane and they tell you flat out, put the mask on yourself before you help anyone else. You can't pull, you can't draw from an empty well. So always make sure that you are in a really good space and honor yourself before you honor anyone else, because then you can give the best to others. Don't give from an empty well. Don't deplete yourself. Learn to say no. Learn to be a little bit sacredly selfish and love yourself above all else, and give yourself the time and space that you need to navigate the various woes that life may throw at you during the year of 2026.
What a beautiful piece of wisdom to close out with today.
Hmm.
That's it, you guys, from under our upside down sky. You've been listening to the Broken Pentacle live, where the stars tell different stories and the magic always has teeth. You can find more magic from us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, which you are at right now, and Substack. Until next time, witches, many, many blessings.
Bye. Oh, that means I have to do my thing now.